So I guess first thing, sorry this took me so long to make. Um, I don't really have much of an excuse other than the fact, holy shit, 2 hours? You spent 2 hours talking about me? Like, Jesus Christ. I thought I talked about me a lot, but 2 fucking hours! Jesus! Okay, before we get any further, I just want to say, Mersh, I think you're an alright dude. Genuinely, I like you. Part of the reason it took me so long to make a response video was I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't want to start even watching it until I knew. And I'd had this idea that I was going to do a little bingo thing where I wrote down a bunch of jokes I thought you were going to make and then see if I could get bingo. And you barely hit any. So kudos to you. Like, you know. Now, granted, the video I watched, I know it's not the first video I appeared in, evidently, but in that one, you made maybe 3 of the jokes I thought you were going to make, and that's it. Your chat, on the other hand, if I was playing with them, I probably would have got a blackout. But the reason I really like you, Mersh, is whenever someone made a kill yourself joke, you didn't really go along with it. You gave me the number to the suicide hotline, and that's a classy fucking move, Mersh. I like that. That's cool. You're a cool dude. I mean, granted, you do have a habit of wearing out jokes, so there is that. I get it. Emotional, holding everything up, people die. It was funny the first time, still funny the second, almost funny the third time, and just kind of pathetic the fourth and fifth. I'm just being real here. If you're gonna repeat it, you have to like, if you brought it back at the end somehow in a clever way, that would have been good, but gotta say that one was kind of weak. I get it, you're trying to fill a 2 hour slot doing live off the cuff stuff. I don't really hold it against you, so I'm not mad about it. Just my own little critique. So I just got finished editing and realized there's a couple things I forgot to mention, so I'm going to drop this in real quick. One, I'm not into dudes, so me and Armani aren't gonna happen. Two, I'm cool with my dick and I intend on keeping it. I'm into girls and I see myself as a lesbian, and if I was born any other way, I'd be wearing a strap on. So I figure why not just keep what I got, you know? And yes, I do see myself as gay because I am attracted to women, and that includes other women with dicks, and I am currently dating one, and that's just fucking gay, you know? My main problem, though, is I feel like it's kind of misrepresentative of me. You're coming at this video like I made it for your eyes, and I really didn't. I made it for the people I grew up with and people whose heartstrings I felt I could tug at, because that's whose attention I was trying to get. I meant what I said when I'm talking about preserving small towns here, specifically the ones I grew up and work in. They're towns I really care about, and I want to protect them in whatever way I can, even if that means just getting them to pay attention to what's going on and taking it more seriously. That's really what I want to do. And so that's kind of what I've been focusing on. I didn't really ever intend for someone like you to watch it and have a response to it. If I did, it would have went a lot differently. The thing you need to know about me is I'm not the person you probably think I am. There's a few things I want to clear up real quick just to make sure I'm understood more betterlier. For one, the part about the second plane hitting, if we could have stopped that was the point I was trying to make, is yeah, at that point the second plane was already in the air, but what if that second plane was still on the tarmac? What if they hadn't cleared yet? What if they were still on the ground and we didn't stop it from taking off? Then we could have prevented that, and we would have that on our conscience forever, you know? Another thing, me talking about the people I've lost. Yeah, I get what you're saying about dwelling too much on that shit. And that's not what I was trying to do. I'm not saying, oh, this is how hard my life is. This is me talking about I've lost people a lot in my life, and it's not really something I can just sit by whenever people in my life are in danger, because I've lost too many people to just let it happen again. This is kind of what I was trying to say there. I guess I didn't make that super clear, but that's kind of the point I was trying to make. See, I care about my family a lot. And these people were my family. They still are. And I want to protect them as much as I can because I've lost family before and I'm not a fan. Not a fan of it. It seems like you're a man who respects honesty. You want to know why I made the GoFundMe? It's pretty simple. I figured there's a lot of people who want to be doing what I'm doing but can't, but figured, hey, maybe they'd be willing to pay me to do it for them. Just a couple bucks, and, to help make sure I'm fed while I'm doing this. I'm not asking for a crazy amount of money, just enough to pay for my food and to pay for bail or whatever else I run into. And that was kind of how much I was asking for. 2,000 I figure would cover everything. But part of the reason I decided to do it as a GoFundMe was because GoFundMes can go viral, and that was the ultimate goal, is I wanted it to get attention, not for myself, but for my message, because I don't really care about the money so much as I care about the people not getting sick and dying, because that's the thing I legitimately care about. Yeah, I also want to not starve in the process, but it's more important to me that they actually get taken care of. At this point, I live in Illinois, and Illinois has extended the stay-at-home order and has ordered masks in public. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. I can't really ask for more. I mean, other states should be doing it as well, and I want other states to be doing it, but I look like a fucking crazy jackass if I'm picketing in Illinois about what Kentucky is doing. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I feel like I just kind of have to just go with it. I don't really know what else to do at this point that doesn't just make me look like an idiot. I mean, I'm happy with what I did. I can't claim any personal role in, the stay-at-home order being extended in Illinois. I did write Pritzker at one point, and I'm sure other people did. And sure, maybe that one email added to the pile that helped tip the scale a little bit. I was one of the straws that broke the camel's back, maybe. I don't know. I can take a little bit of pride in that. That's about it, though. I just turned 30 years old. Yeah, I'm not mid-20s. I am 30. I came out when I was 28 years old, 2 years ago. And in those 2 years, I've spent a lot of time thinking about what the point of my life is and what I should be doing with it. Because I didn't really do a lot with the first 28 years, as I've mentioned. And for the last couple weeks, as this whole thing's been going on, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about that. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about making a career out of making content, as I'm sure many other people have. I know I'm not the first. Part of the reason I never pursued it before was because I didn't really know what I had to say, I guess, if that makes sense. I didn't really have a perspective worth sharing. I was just John Tron light, I've been on the right, I've been on the left, I've been in the middle. I have jumped around several times throughout my life. At the time of me coming out, some of my favorite YouTubers were Chris Raygun and Shoe on Head. Shoe on Head is still one of my favorites, and is part of the reasons I felt comfortable enough with myself to come out in the first place. I fucking love you, Shoe. You're the best. But when I came out, I kind of went away from the centrist and started to fall into the more leftist crowd. I really sort of wound up deep in SJW spaces over the last couple years. Going in, I knew a lot of the stereotypes made about people on the left and their behaviors, and I saw a lot of it firsthand on an individual basis. And a lot of it, it's accurate. It straight up is. Cancel culture is alive and well on the left. I fucking hate it. I hate the left so much. I'm so tired of it. So look, I know you probably still don't understand why I choose to identify as a trans woman. I spent a lot of time asking myself that question over the last 2 years, and I'd love to go into it on some other video if you would like. Long story short, had my life gone differently, I might not have wound up like this, but the damage is done, and for me to pursue my life and go further, this is who I have to be now. There might be a day one day where I'm like, you know what, I'm tired of being this, and I'm going to go back to being a man. It might happen. I don't know. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. I have grown in relationships. I have repaired relationships that were broken long before I came out. I have grown. I have learned new skills. I'm communicating much better. I'm doing this, something I dreamed about doing for a long time, in a much scarier position to do it than I was before, and with much less means, and I'm doing it nonetheless because I have a lot more confidence in myself. You criticize me for talking about me a lot, and this is one thing I don't understand about people on the center and the right, is they can't stand when people on the left talk from their own perspective or viewpoint as if that's somehow bad. I mean, whose else experience am I supposed to speak about? I don't understand. Who else would talk about my experience but me? I it seems to be more an attack on me having an opinion. At the same time, if I say what everyone else is saying, that just means I'm parroting them and I'm not actually having my own thoughts. I don't understand how I'm supposed to not share my own views and thoughts and not share others' views. Am I just not allowed to talk? I don't. That's a kind of a weak argument, dude. You talk about yourself too. Am I narcissistic? Yeah, I am a little bit. I will admit that. I believe the kids call it big dick energy. You know, you got to have confidence in your own potential, and I do. I get why you might have problems with a lot of trans people. I've dealt with enough of them to know why, and I get it. I'm not mad. But here's the thing, you can't just make us go away. We're not just going to disappear. So the only logical solution is to make trans people less cringe. And believe it or not, that's where I come in. After I was arrested the second time and I was taken to jail, I ran into someone who identifies as non-binary. They clocked me as trans because of my haircut, and we talked for a little bit. And afterwards, I ended up hitting up their mom on Facebook because I used to work with her. And we got to talking, and it turns out that they've been doing some disturbing shit. And it sounds like it's just to impress their cool friends on the left. And, like, I don't agree with any of the shit. Like, harming animals isn't cool. I don't like that at all. And I don't want our young queer kids to grow up into that. I want them to be, upstanding members of society and not some fucking. No, no. The people on the left need to know that you can care about civil rights without being complete fucking lunatics. There's this thing that trans people do after they come out where they just start adding other trans people on Facebook, and before you know it, you're just waking up every day to 5 random invites from trans people you've never met before. And if you accept enough of them, you're going to start seeing a lot of them who are just. What a lot of trans people don't realize is that they bring their misery on themselves. That, hey, maybe if you weren't so abrasive all the time, people would work harder about getting your name right. It's really easy to do. Just fucking, what would Jesus do? I swear to God, you just need to do that. It fucking works. You just be nice and kind, and you turn the other cheek when people do you wrong, and eventually they just start doing you right, and it's worth the pain. It's not really that painful when you just let it roll off you, and before you know it, hey, everyone's happy. It's not hard. In my experience, there's a pretty one-to-one ratio on the amount of hateful content you post on Facebook and the amount of people in your life that don't like you. So I'm going to start applying for jobs again now that the whole mask thing is going into effect. I feel I'm safe enough, and I don't really see what's going to be gained by me protesting any longer. So I'm kind of calling that whole thing quits. It's not the dramatic finale I was hoping for, but, beggars can't be choosers. So I just got to be happy with it and move on. But I'm going to continue to make content because I feel like that's kind of where I need to be. And, someone needs to be say, hey, you're fucking up. You've got people like Blair White, and her perspective is important as well. But if you ever want people on the left to listen to some common sense, you're going to need someone who's a bit closer to their viewpoint. And that's going to be someone like me. And I'm the only one brave enough to say it, because everyone else is too worried about being canceled, and I don't fucking care. One of the very first interactions I ever had with people on the left was them trying to cancel the fucking McElroy brothers for using the term dog because it's cultural appropriation. Like, I don't even. Whenever I posted the Democrat video, someone got so triggered in the comments section they left a whole bunch of hateful comments and then blocked me. I see the exact shit you complain about the left on a daily basis, and they want to pretend it's not there, and it is. And if they ever want to be taken seriously, they need to address it and they need to work on it. And they're never going to unless someone fucking calls them out on it. And that's why I want to do it, because no one else is brave enough to do it, and I know I am. That's kind of my deal. I hope you'll stick around and keep watching. If you're ever looking for a token tranny or an expert SJW analyst to appear on your show, you know where to look. And until then, see ya, I guess.